to know. Oh, yeah, we need to show. Listen, watch, and flow. You need to.
I need to know, I need to know, I need to know. You need to know, you need to know, you need to know. We all need to know. What do you need to know? What do I need to know? What do we all need to know? Today we are going to be looking at the book of 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 1. The book of 2 Samuel 24, verse 1. And the book of 1 Chronicles 21, verse 1. We want to put it side by side, juxtapose it, and see maybe they contradict each other. Because this is one of the most discussed textual and theological parallel in the Old Testament. These two Bible passages, the book of 2 Samuel 24, verse 1, and the book of 1 Chronicles 21, verse 1, they are the most discussed textual and theological parallel in the Old Testament. It appears to present a contradiction about who prompted David, that is King David, to take a census of Israel. Is it God in the book of 2 Samuel, or Satan in the book of 1 Chronicles? But when we examine it hermeneutically, the two accounts together actually reveal a deep truth about divine sovereignty and human temptation. Divine sovereignty and human temptation. So let's study it carefully, one after the other. So don't forget, we are doing, just want to see, maybe Bible contradicts each other. And as I used to tell you, there is no place, there is nowhere that Bible contradicts each other. Rather, they complement each other. So the text, the book of 2 Samuel 24, verse 1 says, "And again, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go number Israel and judge." You have to underline, he moved, that is, God moved David against them to say, go and number Israel and Judah. At face value, when you see the face value, God's anger burned against Israel, and he, that is God, moved David to number Israel. So let's look at the book of 1 Chronicles 21, verse 1. What is he saying? "And Satan stood up against Israel and Satan provoked David to take the numbers of Israel." But in 2 Samuel, God moved David against Israel. But in 1 Chronicles, Satan stood against Israel and provoked David to do what? To number Israel. What is the face value? The face value of the 1 Chronicles chapter 21, verse 1 is, it was Satan, not God, who incited David to take census. It was not God. It was not God that asked David to do what? It was Satan that initiated. God allowed. Okay? So what is the apparent contradiction? 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 1. God moved David. 1 Chronicles 21, verse 1. Satan provoked David. So which is it? God or Satan? Let's see the hermeneutical interpretation. Different emphasis. When you study that place, you see different emphasis, same event. Different emphasis, but the same event. Both passages describe the same event by counting, by doing census, but from two complementary perspectives. The book of 2 Samuel 24:1 and the book of 1 Chronicles 21:1. Both of them is the same event, but two different complementary perspectives. When you see the passages, 2 Samuel 24, verse 1, the perspective, that is divine perspective, focuses God permitted David to be tested as part of their judgment on Israel. God permitted, that's what is called permissive will of God and perfect will of God. Because God permitted you, that doesn't mean that is his will. So when you now see the book of First Chronicles 21 verse 1, what is the perspective? It's about human spiritual perspective. Human spiritual perspective, but it's not divine perspective. Therefore, Satan instigated David through temptation. Satan instigated David through what? Temptation. So let's see, in short, God allowed it. As I said, there's permissive will of God and perfect will of God. Because God permitted something doesn't mean that is his will. When you study the life of Balaam and Balak, God permitted him, but that's not his perfect will. He already told him, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. But by the time he was pressurized because of material things, God permitted, okay, you can go. So therefore, in short, these two passages, God allowed it. God allowed the census. Satan initiated it. David chose to do it. David chose to do it. All three are true simultaneously. They allowed, they initiated, and they chose. So divine sovereignty. Let's see the divine sovereignty and human responsibility. This is a classic case of God permitting evil for a righteous purpose. A theme consistent throughout Scripture. Other example, the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 2. God allows Satan to test Job. God allows Satan to test Job, but remains sovereign. Luke 22, verse 31 to 32. Satan desired to sift Peter, but Jesus prayed for his faith, and he still denied Jesus. Act of Apostles, chapter 2, verse 23. Jesus' crucifixion, that is Jesus' crucifixion, men acted wickedly, thinking they have nailed him, they have seen the end. So, but it's for a divine purpose. So, men acted wickedly by nailing him, by beating him, by doing all sorts of things. But it was by determining, by the determination. The determinate, that is God, already determined counsel and foreknowledge of God. In each, that is in each, God uses Satan's intent. God uses Satan's intent for judgment or refinement. God can use Satan for judgment or refinement, to refine you, to fine-tune you, without himself being the author of sin. God is not the author of sin. But when he already told you this is good, this is bad, this is bad, and you are now consistently as if you are disturbed, he will allow you to do it. But that doesn't mean he was the one that initiated it. Satan initiated the census. God allowed it for divine judgment. So therefore, why was God angry at Israel? 2 Samuel 24 verse 1 begins again. The anger, that is again, that means another time. Again, the anger of God was kindled against Israel. This suggests that Israel had already sinned corporately. They already sinned corporately, perhaps pride, disobedience, or neglect of covenant duties. God therefore allowed a testing through David's pride. A testing through David's pride, a census that will reflect trust in numbers, not in God. A census that will allow, we are many. We are trust in number, but not in God. So God's anger was the cause. Satan's temptation was the instrument. David's choice was the action. And judgment was the result. We continue part 2 of this book tomorrow. Please kindly put your comment down, what you have been observing and which Bible you want us to also do some justice to. God bless you. Help us to shine. Shalom.